What's up, everybody? This is Lord Sovereign here, coming to you live from the Microsoft Theater. This is our post-Microsoft E3 briefing reaction. We're coming to you live. LordsofGaming.net, the Iron Lords podcast. I'm Lord Sovereign. This is the boss, Lord Cognito, and of course, Lord Addict,
Young Wolf.
the Young Wolf. So,
What we thought.
just to kick it off, we have to say all of us are extremely disappointed in Microsoft showing today. They showed some cool games, some new stuff that we weren't expecting that was kind of cool. Basically, the whole first hour was smaller games with a few cool things sprinkled in. We saw Ori. We saw a new Blair Witch game that looked really good. But beyond that, there was a lot of smaller games. So we figured that the second hour was going to be all the big hitters. And first of all, there wasn't even a full second hour. The whole show was maybe about an hour and a half long.
An hour and a half, yeah.
And we heard that it would be longer, and it wasn't that. The end of the show, obviously, anybody who saw it, ended with Halo with a little bit of talk about next gen and console and a little bit of talk about cloud. But we didn't think it was detailed enough to really show what this stuff is about. So we were very happy at the fact that Scarlet's coming out in 2020, Halo's launching with it, so that was cool. But overall, I have to tell you, very disappointed in the conference. No Fable, nothing from the initiative.
No Fable.
Nothing from the initiative, and just really nothing that's a little further out just to give us a little taste of what else they're working on. So I've always said E3 is the biggest stage. You have to come here, you have to show, you have to drop the mic. And they dropped the ball. Not the mic, they dropped the ball. So I'll hand it off to the boss.
Well, Soft said a lot. Look, man, we all know the stakes here. We know they're the only show in town right now. You know, Sony's not here. So the intention is you've got to show out, right? You've got to lay all the chips on the table. Initially, I thought the show started strong. I thought the pacing was boom, boom. I think that
the pacing was good. It was the content that was
well,
bad.
I think they, in my opinion, they fell off the board after they hit the high to me of like Cyberpunk and Wick comes out. To me, that was like the building erupted at that moment. But again, the way I look at it, that's not your IP, right? This is a third party. So this is how I judge the show. I'm looking at what Microsoft has to show. There were some great games that were third party, look amazing. The Namco game, the Tales. I'm a Phantasy Star guy. Sega was in the building. I love those announcements. The Game Pass, the services stuff, great stuff. You know, I just felt from Microsoft's own IP when they used those numbers, what was it, 40 or what was it?
60 games.
60 games. When you use those numbers, people want to see.
14 was the amount.
Exactly
14 was the amount they had.
People want to see high quality games coming from you, and from them, those games I felt underwhelmed. I felt a lot of the indie games maybe got too much shine, and maybe could have been done like in a vignette or something.
In a vignette or something like
Yeah.
that, absolutely. And just to quickly show them off, but it felt like even the Microsoft Studio stuff that they were announcing, and I love smaller, innovative games.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's not the point. But again, this is where you show out your big guns.
Right.
If you had anything to show, anything
Anything.
from Fable, if it is in fact being made, if you had anything from the initiative, just whatever, show it.
Right.
Show it to get your base excited.
Yeah.
It was kind of eerie to notice like the silence after certain things.
Let's just talk about it. Let's get to it. Right after the show ended, I'm like, when that show started, the show was at fever pitch. When that show ended, any Xbox fan, if you say it to your heart, if you're not real, you're not being real. It was a Morgan there when that joint ended. It was like, that's it? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it 100. Like, this is no Xbox bashing. We just got to be honest with the raw emotion of when the show ended. It was literally like somebody, I'm going to give it to Addict because I know right now,
He's hurt.
I was watching his face during the conference. He's like, Cog, I don't know. It's looking spooky in here. So I'm going to give it to Addict, man. What's your impressions of this thing?
I think it might be one of the worst ones they've had in probably 5 years. I think that I get it. I thought the pacing was good,
Really?
but
I didn't like
what I didn't like about the pacing is they tried to be too fast and not show gameplay. Instead of showing an in-depth of what everyone wanted, they just showed a trailer. Like, why did we get some Kate going crazy on the screen instead of something on the gameplay? Like, what?
Coming out this year, they made the best games that are coming out this year not look great. How do you not show a little bit of story, of campaign gameplay for Gears?
Facts.
How do you not show that?
Facts.
And like one of the biggest things that I'm just frustrated with, it's like they showed something about Halo, but you were flying. To my knowledge, Master Chief was definitely not in space at the end of 5. So that makes no sense on that. We don't even know what kind of distance and how long it's been since he's been out of commission. Right. It looked like Cortana was on his side at the end. Apparently at the end she went crazy. So like, I'm gonna have to say, man, like this might be the worst E3 that they could have possibly dropped. No, the engine looked fantastic. If they use slip space, why didn't we get it in depth on what slip space can do? Like, why didn't we get Ninja Theory? They could have showed a game. Like, I get it, they don't want to show too much gameplay because they were getting clowned on for like the Division stuff. Right. But at the end of the day, people, especially your IPs, don't show Dying Light, don't show none of them when it comes to gameplay. But when it comes to your IPs, you need gameplay.
Facts. Listen, you just nailed what I was going to give back to you. So that what he said right there is what I felt like. Again, the games look good, but if you're a PlayStation guy and you watch this show, right, you like Dying Light, yeah, that's coming to my joint. Cyberpunk, yeah, that's coming to my system. So anything that looked impressive, people are going to subtract points off top because they're going to say, look, I can get that anywhere else. Microsoft has to compel people that their software is going to make you come to this platform. You know what I mean? And the Scarlet thing, even that was a little underwhelming. It was almost like a remix of the X trailer. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Guys, executives talking.
It was they used the same sort of format for when they announced the X.
Right.
And it was just underwhelming. Like everybody knows the Scarlet name. And that's another thing. The way they seem to announce it, it felt like there is no 2 SKUs. They announced Scarlet as one thing, and we talked about like maybe they just don't want to talk about the lower SKU. They're talking about the high end one.
Right.
Cool. But it just felt underwhelming.
Yeah.
So the coolest thing about it is that it's launching next year and it's launching with Halo. It's the first time Halo launches with a console since the original console. I think that's big. But beyond that, again, I just think very disappointed. They did not seize the opportunity.
Right.
And I don't understand why.
Right. All right. And I want to actually flip it right now. I want to say, okay, Attic, like what?
I think there's no flip.
I just want to ask you a question, just for the sake of fairness. What impressed you? Give me some things that you actually liked about this conference.
I like the pacing. I know you didn't, but I thought the pacing was okay. There's a difference between pacing and good pacing that has nothing. The pacing was good, but the content was bad in between.
I see where you're going.
I liked what they showed on Halo. I felt like something different could have been there. I don't know. See, it's hard for me to find positive things. Some of the games are fun. Blair Witch. I thought that was Silent Hill for a second. It was looking like Silent Hill.
What about the new studio acquisition? What about that?
Double Fine's cool. Double Fine's cool. But like at the end of the day, like it wasn't the magnifying thing. Like Double Fine, I don't feel like that's E3 worthy. Like they could have literally have done that at Inside Xbox, the last one that they did. Unless they were going to show multiple. Now, if they were going to show multiple, that's E3 worthy. But I don't think just Double Fine's E3 worthy. I don't think that this is like if Sony was here, this is completely dropped the ball. Like they just got shot out in the street. They got bad. But since Sony's not here, I feel like they went for a safe direction. They didn't have no competition, and that's not the time. Like it's like easing off the brakes right before you hit the finish line. When Sony literally they're at the finish line.
Yeah, let me finish. I think for me, I think Attic nailed it best. I think he's making a good point as far as pacing. He's right. I mean, it was sped up. It wasn't like too drawn out. Again,
the pacing feels once the content is not what you want. Then no matter how good the pacing is, because I started yawning and I'm like, and it was still bang 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 game. It just wasn't anything that I wanted.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like what they could have done to make the show way better is they got to have some gameplay on Halo. They have to. Like what they could have did is took all the indie stuff, the big indie stuff, and put that all in one rail. And then they take that time, they take that dedication time, that 2-3 minutes a piece, and give that to Gears. Take that 2-3 minutes a piece, give that to Halo. Show us some actual, like you literally showed us Master Chief walking across a ship. Like imagine this game's coming out next year. Why didn't we see any major gameplay? Why did
I could actually let me get this. I can actually understand the Halo reveal. I thought they showed, in my opinion, they showed a little bit of premise. We don't know about the continuity, but they showed a little bit of premise. I'm more disappointed in the Gears aspect because this is coming out this year, right? Now, granted, they showed Escape, that looked cool, the little 3 room-to-room level thing, cool. I mean, they showed features of it, but I guess my thing is, We need to see a little bit of that campaign.
It felt like it needed to be reversed.
Yes.
You show us that multiplayer stuff at an Inside Xbox.
Yes.
And you show us the campaign at E3.
Yeah. It was almost like, why are you holding back now? This is the time to show out this game.
Again, it just feels like there's restraint
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah.
You have people coming here, people flipping out, trying to get into this conference every single year. Like, forget about this year. Every
Right.
single year.
Mm-hmm.
And you have, to me, it's a kind of a lack of respect for your fan to come in here and then act like this is it. And,
Right,
and
right.
again, I completely respect the amount of work that goes into any
Absolutely,
game.
absolutely,
Huge, big
absolutely.
game, small game, but this you need to show out on the E3 stage. You have to.
Like what I thought they were gonna do is I said it in my actual prediction. I didn't call Halo. I did say it could be Halo. That they were going to show the console and then they were going to show a game, kind of like. But I thought what I thought they were going to do in the pacing, because I still thought there was going to be Fable, is show Halo, and then right before he's about to close the story, we got one more game for you.
Yeah.
Like all it would have took is
Right.
just. I really think like. What was missing from this is a banger, something that we knew.
They needed a surprise. We also had heard rumors of like maybe Nintendo, they needed an earth-shattering surprise to say, oh, something that's, oh my God, drop worthy.
One of the biggest OMG moments is Fantasy Star Online 2.
Yeah,
a
that's what
game
you
that's
know.
like, and I was super
That's
happy.
us, but we know that ain't for everybody.
That's not for everybody.
Right.
I was super happy, but at the same time, that game is 10 years old.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know how old is it.
Yes. Finish up?
Yeah.
And not to mention, no From Software gameplay. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
but
I ain't gonna go
if
crazy
you're
with that.
If you're gonna bring something on the stage that comes out next year, then you should ask for more than just a little trailer.
I get that. I get that.
Especially when you're giving those games more time than your
Own
own
games.
I don't know how that process works, so we can't say that they didn't ask.
Right.
Or, they just needed to have it on the stage. So we don't know that.
Right.
But again, it's just, to me,
Yeah.
forget about the third-party stuff.
Right.
Your stuff.
Yes, that's what it comes
Your
down to.
stuff.
That's what it comes down to. Me, like Solve just nailed it for me, which is when it's your titles, you've got to showcase. You've got to get people excited about your stuff, because again, the consensus is you're going to show a bunch of multiplats. They're going to look better on your console. We know that. But what are you doing? And everything that they had outside of Halo, which we know is launched as a big announcement, you know what I'm saying? But outside of what they have for this year, I can't say I was like super pumped up. And we got to say that is disappointing. You're the only show in town. You've got to show out. You've got to blow the doors off. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to end it with final reviews after you talk. Like, we're going to give it a grade.
Yeah, and I just want to put some some thought process behind this. Like, think about this. We saw more gameplay from Ori than we saw from Gears, than we saw from Halo, from Ori. And this game's coming out this year. Gears 5 is coming out in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Why didn't we see, like, just all you would see is like the beginning cutscene or something.
Show a level.
All they show is like
More of it when they first announced it.
They just show her face.
it's just
morphing and she
what
going
it is.
crazy.
For some reason, they don't want to show gameplay now,
Yeah, they don't wanna
and
show gameplay.
that's just frustrating.
Let's not jet to the music in the building. So, real quick, y'all, we just seen it. We don't seem all that pleased, but I want to do what's our rating. What we're gonna do, like 8?
5 or 8?
Nah, let's go 8. Let's do letters. Where you at?
I give it a D.
Ooh.
C minus D. C minus D.
C minus D?
C minus D, because again, some of the stuff that they did show that's first party, it was very, like I said, the Blair Witch stuff was
Yeah, that
surprising.
was
I
lit, that was
enjoyed
lit.
that.
That was lit.
Bleeding Edge looked good. I'm a Power Stone head, and it looked like a refined Power Stone.
Right.
And I know Ninja Theory knows their combat, so
Right.
that looked very cool.
Yeah.
What else? Ori looked amazing.
Ori looked amazing.
Ori
Boss
looked
fight.
absolutely
Ori was
amazing.
like the game of the show.
Yeah,
for
so
them.
let me be nicer. C
Yeah.
minus,
C
but
minus?
very disappointed in the big
Raw
stuff.
reaction right
And-
now. Attic, I need your ranking, man. Where you at?
I got to give it a C minus.
C minus.
Like, at the end of the day, they still showed, one of the highlights was Dying Light. They didn't show nothing on that.
Right.
They showed him infected, but not even really what that even means. Like,
Yeah.
it literally ends with his light turning red. He's like, but I'm infected. Bam, gone.
Yeah.
Over next trailer. I'm like, it didn't.
Hold on. Where was Gears Tactics at? Why did I
said
get
it wasn't there.
Yo,
Then
where
I
was
said
Gears
it
Tactics?
wasn't
That was the
there.
one I was looking for, bro. So I'm hurting.
I want to state that Addict said it wasn't going to be there, and if it was going to be there, they would say that's going to be at the PC Gaming Show.
But they showed Age of Empires.
And then they show Age of Empires, but they didn't say for Xbox console, right? They just,
There was one game
The PC, yeah.
Battletoads didn't even have a release date.
Yeah, I know that. So, oh man, so you said C minus.
It's not like it was the worst show
You'll
that
never
they've
see,
ever
right.
done.
Right.
But considering
Based on the circumstances.
the circumstances for this year, if they would have did this show last year,
Yeah.
it would have been even worse.
Yeah.
But since they did it this year and there's not a competition, it kind
Yeah,
of
it kinda
balances
amplifies
out
it.
a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's fair. I'm sorry. The lack of Sony being here does not excuse this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it doesn't. But at the end of the day, it's still a business transaction. Like
bounce it off of. I get it. Like you have something to compare it to. I have a
but
feeling
at the
Nintendo's
end-
gonna eat their lunch. I have a feeling. I have a
but
feeling
the
Bethesda's
moment-
gonna eat their lunch. Like
the moment, like, and we were like, I told you, like 45 minutes in, I was like, this is bad. I was
Yeah,
like,
you were saying
Yeah, I was
during
like-
the conference, Attic is like, yo, this is looking spooky. He's like, yo, I don't know, and I'm trying to keep it together, and I'm feeling what he's feeling. But you were saying it.
I have a feeling Bethesda and Nintendo are both gonna blow them out of water. Like it's like, and they're gonna have a fraction of the time that they have.
All right, let me end it, man, because here's the thing. I warned people, when you hear words like 40 exclusives and keep things in perspective. There's a lot of hyperbole. Sometimes it's marketing terminology. Look, I got to be honest. I got to tell you what my raw feeling is. I didn't feel good leaving there. I didn't feel confident like, yo, this is something crazy.
Didn't feel like you needed to buy an Xbox.
Right. I mean, listen, I'm buying it. You know that. But it's just, again, I got to say C. It's just, with the pressure they had, everything on the line, no Sony here. You've got to show out. I didn't feel wowed. I didn't feel blown away. I just felt safe. I felt controlled. We're not going to give them this. And then also I felt a little remix again with the Scarlet announcement. That
just felt
felt like an X-remix Vignette.
It was even the same
people.
background.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, and to be honest, I wanted a little bit more on Project X Cloud. I understand they were saying, you know, they were going to, you know, do the public trial.
Right. The fact that they announced that now your console itself
That was
will be
dope.
a
That was dope.
server,
That was dope.
That's very cool.
Right.
Because
Put it this,
now
they got an
they're
A for
expanding their network.
This is how I look at it. They got an A to B for services. Game Pass, all that was cool.
Game Pass
But the games, what we're here for, I gotta say C, man. I mean, it was very average, pedestrian, nothing is. But that's what I got, man. So this is Raw Reactions with the Lords, Iron Lord Podcast, lordsofgaming.net. Yo, check it out. We got our live blog up. I got some Raw Reactions there while it was going down, and that's what we got. Iron Lord Podcast, and we out,
Off
brother.
to Bethesda.
Off to
Let's
Bethesda
go.
next. Let's go, y'all. We out. Word.